pretty sure I don't have to explain to you what FNAF is. It's been everywhere for the last 4 years. But to those who aren't aware, think of FNAF like Skynet, only instead of a malevolent AI who views all organic life as worthless, it's murderous animatronics who are or may not be possessed by the souls of dead, resentful children. Now, the animatronics in FNAF are scary just by their concept. I mean, what's scarier than giant, lumbering, mechanical beasts that stalk you in the middle of the night when you're, lack for a better word, superglued to your chair? And what locks them in at number 5 is primarily a fault of the franchise itself, is the community kind of ruins the experience for anyone who goes in blind. I mean, anyone can look up any secret that has been on the game, and there's no real point playing the games when everyone else has already played them and discovered everything. The FNAF games are much like a pack of fireworks. Every day you want to save as many as possible, but by the time you get to the end, you're just wishing you had a full set of fireworks again. At number 4, we have the Dementors from Harry Potter. More specifically, I am referring to the Dementors of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Now, what makes this thing so scary, you may ask? It just looks like, say, your drunk uncle trying to play a prank on you in his ruined Halloween cloak, but really, Dementors are foul creatures, wraith-like in nature. They suck the ever-living happiness out of you until there's nothing left but despair, anguish, and sorrow. And the presence is so foul on the earth and so terrifying that the air itself freezes and chills in the presence of these horrifying creatures. And their only weakness is the Patronus charm, which, for some reason, even though everyone knew it after Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, no one decides to use it whenever there's a Dementor around. So, yeah. And I think what makes these things more creepy than their movie counterpart is the sounds they make. I mean, take a listen to this. That is unsettling. And when you're a kid up in your room at night just after playing a round of Harry Potter, and you imagine that sound, you feel it coming. It's hunting you. It's stalking you, and you can't stop it. Tap. Coming in at number 3, we have Rel from Warframe. Now, you don't really expect many horror-related things in what seems like a space adventure in Warframe, but that proves wrong as soon as you fire up the Chains of HorrorQuest. Now, I don't really get much into Warframe lore because it's pretty hard to digest for a first-time viewer, but I'll try to explain it as best I can. Rel is what's called a Tenno. These people called Orcans sent a bunch of coloners into the Void, hopefully to gain an advantage over their enemies, the Sentients. What happened was, all the adults went crazy, but all the kids gained Void powers, and were later adopted by the Lotus, except Rel. Now, from what I understand, Rel has like a thinking disorder, like he can't process the ideal of emotions, and it's harder to connect with people. And he just never was brought in by the Lotus, so he never knew how to control his powers, which eventually grew out of control, and we have these terrifying Rel manifestations. Now, the one I'm speaking of in particular is the foggy red haze thing you encounter when you first start up the quest. It's immortal, for one thing. You can't do anything to it, regardless of frame, weapon, or ability. And it hunts you down, and it will kill you. Simple enough, but also later in the quest, you have to retrieve Rel's, let's call them emotional outlet manifestations. Basically, you get these card prompts, and, well, they just manifest. And that white face over the hazy creature is just creepy. You have to face Rel again at the end of the quest, when you have to set him and his Warframe Haro free from his chains, because the Red Veil put him there in fear of what might happen if he ever was consumed by the powers of the Void. Now, I know that might not be what it really is, because I'm very loosely describing the lore here, but that's just my own description. And if you check out my live stream, you'll hear how freaked out I was when first playing this. Seriously, this guy gave me chills.
You really do remember me this time.
And the nobodies take the silver medal. Now, what is a nobody? A nobody is when a person loses their heart, they can become a heartless. But if they're strong-willed, the body left behind gains sentience and just is. In one example, Roxas is the nobody of Sora because of that stunt he pulled with the Keyblade. And Xehanort's nobody is the leader of Organization 13. And he also created himself as a Heartless as Ansem the Wise. So, yeah. Now, I'm okay with that, really. But the one thing I have to ask is, what separates this nobody from this nobody? I mean, how do you go from, oh, your body gains sentience, to what looks like a jumpsuit with teeth? And the way these guys float around and move is just creepy on so many levels. They fly like Dementors, for one thing, so that's not helping. And when they move, everything moves except the upper half of their body. That's creepy on plenty of levels, but yeah, nobody's take the silver medal. End of story. Next number. And gold medal goes to the Regenerators from Resident Evil. Now, originally I was planning to use Slender Man from the Slender games, but quite frankly, what's more scary than an immortal being that feeds on the very flesh of humanity as well as children than beings like that can be mass-produced? I haven't really played many Resident Evil games in recent times, but these things never fail to creep me out. They're like an amalgamation of Ultimate Spider-Man's Venom and any Lovecraftian thing with no eyes that you can probably think up. They're pseudo-immortal. You need to pump a lot of lead into them to put them down, but as far as I know, they are completely fearless and devoid of all emotion. The only thing they live for is to feed, regenerate, and feed some more. And on top of that, the noises they make. You probably heard it before I even started talking, but yeah, these things are creepy. And on top of that, the music and the atmosphere in the games doesn't make it any less creepy. So, there you have it. The Regenerators are my #1 scariest video game enemy. Now remember, this list was completely based on my own opinion. There could be hundreds of other people who see it differently, but this is just how I see it. Did you like what you see? Want to see more? Then check out the other stuff on my channel. I usually do everything wrongless in video game Let's Plays. In fact, I'm planning to do a Let's Play of Layers of Fear. And if you want to tune into that, well, just stay tuned. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and smash like, hit subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!